Hello, welcome to my channel. It's good to have you here. So today I'm going to talk about okay, I'm going to tell you a story and then I'll get into it. So we'll go with when I was younger, I really hated meat. I hated it. I didn't like meat, and there's a reason. I just didn't like it. I didn't like the way it tasted in my mouth, and I didn't like the way it felt, right, when I ate it. You know, when you chew it and that, and it was like, something ain't right about this, you know? I know all the kids do it. You know, a lot of kids in their veggies, the only way they'll eat it is if it's processed, because it's not it. And it's kind of like, there's something else going on here. And I didn't really think about it until like, because I was like obviously made to eat it, like it's protein and that, like, you know, you get social workers around your ass. When I was a kid, like, that social workers around your ass, your mum's like, they gotta eat protein, they gotta eat the meat. She's probably making us eat all sorts of stuff, like liver and all sorts. I ate ravioli. It's my worst thing. Yeah. So I don't eat meat. Like, so if you try and force me to eat meat or anything like that, you know, there's gonna be consequences. And I know what you're gonna try and do, but at the end of the day, no, that's how it is. John knows, because she's 369. So I know, like, you like to manifest through me. I know, like, you like to create spaces in this reality where you like to manifest for 369 energy codes. Yeah, some of them got away with it, some of them didn't. It's probably because I'm like in the void space, the creational space. But you gotta realise that the only way it's gonna work is if you spin me out, and I ain't going anywhere. Right? So I'm gonna be my nines. Right? I'm gonna be my three, my six, my nine. Okay, my true identity. And there's a reason, and it's just because solely that, you know, people want to create through us. People want to always do that. They want to create through us, and especially those 369s. Okay, and it's because they want to create a change on a plane, or they want to create something or keep something the same. So usually, what will happen is that they'll try and put you off, trying to project or protect, or, you know, give your voice, or say what you think, you know, establish a meaning to this, to destabilize you, really, to you know, confronting your fears and rising on your Kabbalah, rising on your trianology. Okay, so and really, what is it about? It's about reaching that bar line. Okay, so it's not a program. There might be a few other cultists out there might say the same thing as me, but it's not about reaching, you know, an all one concept, because that's not what this is. Okay, so my teachings, regardless of the programs, like, let's forget them. Come on now. Right, so, and I know energy is, I know I am safe. I know that it's over now. Like, so when we experience things in our life that aren't nice, we can ultimately fall. But the truth is that I know I'm safe is always going to be there. In the end, always going to be an end. And it's going to be a safe end. And if it's not, then it's just a programmable state, or it's caused by somebody who's corrupt, who isn't a good person, and that has projected lies and miscarriages of justice or anything like that, right? So there's always going to be a lack that takes place with people who don't have this ability to understand why it's happening, okay? But if you understand why it's happening, and then there's fallacies, you become your own sort of sense of God. And the reason why I say this as a sense of God is for people who are atheists, okay? So I'm bringing it for you atheists out there, because I understand that, you know, I have been atheist predominantly most of my life, okay? So, and the reason is because I had a wound in my religion, okay? Something weren't right in there. So anyway, which, let's understand this. Something right in there, and as an atheist you go, oh, why isn't that right? Why isn't something right in them places? Why doesn't it feel good to me? And it's because there's something that ain't right in there, okay? The energy's off, okay? So what is a faith hub? Okay, a faith hub, okay? This is where we really integrate understanding what the point of those bloody things were there in the first place as an atheist. So to understand these aspects, or why, is because there's people still, they want that faith, they go towards it, they want that faith. But ultimately, what is faith? What is faith? It's love. Okay, that's the bar. Okay, you don't want to break the bar. Okay, you don't want to break that bridge. Right? I love you, but you don't want to break the bridge. Okay, because if you break that bridge, okay, you're breaking it for everyone. Especially if you're going to do it to me. I'm 369. What do you think is going to be on this plane? Havoc, right? Havoc. Is that what they want? Probably. Anyway, the bar is love. This is why it's faith. We feel like we need, because we're emotionally in turmoil. Okay, so we might be emotionally in turmoil. This is emotions, a moon. And then this is our feelings. So we might feel frustrated. So what do? We seek love. So through seeking love, okay, through seeking love, we can find an aspect of where can we go to get this? Where can we see it? It might be a person on the street, it might be a hello, it might be a thank you, it might be a I care about you, it might be a hug, it might be a gesture, okay? And then from this, we can also understand how we might find ourselves in places of worship, okay? Because we are looking for something to fulfill our hearts, our souls, okay? Never mind the attachments you've got going on, right? So we have to realize is that ultimately, in the first place, the real reason why these places were created was because it's for love, okay? They are love generation hubs. So I don't know if anyone knows about like the dragon energy. I'm going out for the atheists now, but I'm going to step in now a little bit for the spiritualists. But like they said that there were zones, and it was all created on this plane, and there were zones in this world, and they are spaces of love, healing, okay? And it's going to be a dragon energy concept, but a dragon energy isn't a draconius, because draconius is an opposition. So it's almost like they've inverted those streams, because dragon energy is actually meant to be a fierce protector, okay? So when we understand it in our dictionaries, they can be mixed up, because, you know, there's a lot of things like they say in English language where they can use certain words to sort of like make it an oppositional perspective, an inversion, which shouldn't take place. Okay, so usually, so for a dragon mother, it'd be the same as a dragon a feline, an animal, any animal. You see them, all walks of life, humans. They care about their young, okay? So mothers care about their young. So what is the first thing? Primal instinct. It's love, okay, for that child, that their offspring, okay? And this is natural, okay? So sometimes they might leave them if they're going to pass, but I think the only reason why, so say like I've seen this before where my pet cat, okay, she's tortoiseshell, she had some babies, but this one didn't survive and she kept pushing it away. And I think it's because they can't, they are so feeling, they already knew they couldn't make that survive, okay? So we can understand that they might not make that baby survive, okay? So sometimes they're pushing it away to say help, help. They push it away to say help, okay? But sometimes they do die, and it's because they're not. They might need help, okay? Extra help. That's why you get vets and stuff, right? So let's get back into this. yeah, let's bring this in. When we understand healing processes and stuff like this, usually stopping eating meat is the first process we go to when we want to understand aspects of healing. Okay, so this is for everybody who's like moved on to that, right? So you go vegetarian, and this is really where you might start healing. And I did it throughout my life, on and off. I mean, I think I was like 15, I stopped eating meat. And after that, I didn't eat it for years. Like, I think I was about 19 when I started eating meat again, right? So I went a long time without eating meat. And it's beneficial, but you know, you can feel into all your anxieties. It's almost like it surpasses that sacral chakra space where you can feel into your energies, right? And usually this is because it's like almost like we're moving up, okay? We're going up because we've established I am, right? So, you know, it takes a while to open your chakra points, and it's probably best to do it naturally instead of being forced as well. Because if you're forced into doing something like that, it can really open up a can of worms. And it can really sort of like make us destabilized in our emotions because we haven't understood everything that we need to remember, right? So I remember being opened up in 2019 and they opened me right up, right? So this can also be like a space where you know, everyone could be opened up and be like, I don't know how to deal with this. Okay. So let's get into that understanding how we feel, because what happens is you might be clogged up there for some reason. You might not know why. And then what we have to do is remove that, and then we rise to our I do energy. And we rise to I do heal. Bing, right? I know it's over. I remembered what happened to me when I was a child, or something bad happened to me when I was little, and then it's ding, I know it's over, right? So we could go through these experiences all throughout our lifetimes because it's a natural process of opening our kundalinis, okay? So lay off the meat because it's a heavy weight and it stops you, blocks you from who I am. Because when you as a child, 9 times out of 10, you might not have been bothered. But let me tell you now, if you was a kid and you didn't like eating meat, remember that, because this is going to be part of your I am energies. Okay? And it's just basic stuff. Right? I'm not having a go or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, it's what matters to you. If you weren't bothered, then carry on. No one's bothered. If you don't mind, that's fine. But if you were bothered, like I am energies, then that's the bother, isn't it, to you in your subconscious that you might have forgot when you was a child. And you know, it came out really big because it is a big thing, right? You walk down in the supermarket, you see all these trays and there's so much meat on there. Right, so let's get into this bit. So we have to understand that the amount of meat that's being produced is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I walk around, I'm like, when I was little, I used to see cows, sheep, all on grassland. And now you go down on a train or whatever, and you're off to Scotland or whatever, and you just see like cows, no cows, hardly any. Okay, hardly any. And you think the amount of food that's in ours, saying it's British meat and 100% meat and all that, and you think to yourself, you're like, something ain't right here. Like, where's all the cows and that? In Yorkshire, you think that's where they all are, in like Scotland, that it's all bare land. Like, where's all the cattle? Where is it all? If it's meant to be like produced all in Britain, where is it? And it's almost like we're trying to rise to our feels to understand that, and it's almost like they're blocking us off. And it's like, what's going on? And you know, that rise to crown in understanding that. You know? But if you look as an observer out on the fields and stuff, it's written all, like, it should be written all over the place type thing. Oh, there's a cow, it's normal, right? There's loads of them. But there's not. There isn't hardly any. I travelled up and down. There isn't any, right? I went to Wales as well. There isn't any. And what I'm going past them like, there's a couple, but there isn't a lot. Where are they? Where's all the animals that are meant to be 100% British meat, right? This is a corporate super states. Realise this. Now I want to get to understanding the fact that, what is this? It's written all over. It's written all over the place, isn't it? It's written all over the place, right? It's written all over the place. So we have to understand that it's not there. So where is it? Is it in holding spaces? There's not grass fed, is it? So there's nothing. Is it grass fed? Isn't it grass fed? You can go into all the little dichotomies of in-house or farmland, grass fed or soy fed, and then you just think to yourself, I don't really if I eat meat, I'll have a bit of chicken, right? But even then I'm like, where's it from? Right? Where is it being generated? I don't see it. So, when I was a kid, we used to sing that song, was it? Yeah, we sing farm song. I know my ancestors, they own farmland. I'm from Lincolnshire, it's a big place. But they sold them all out, and I don't know what they're doing. But sold them all out. Right, okay, so, was it Old Farmer Giles, Old MacDonald and Old Farmer Giles, right? Not laying on me, mate. So, the reality is that we have to really understand that, when we eat meat, where is it actually from? It is a corporate soup state. It is that, okay? So, don't eat it. It's my advice, because we don't actually know what it is. There's no proof of it, is there? Where is it? So, we have to understand where's meat being generated from. Oh, is it from a different country? Okay, I can understand that. But it's not, because it says 100% British. What's going on here? Like, it's 100% British. Bloody isn't. Where are the bloody cows? Where are they? I'd never eat beef, I didn't. I don't like it. I'm an A. It's heavy for my digestive system. I do eat chicken sometimes though when I feel like I'm going to die. But I think in understanding these compartments is that, you just need to get your nutrition. And if you can get because I used to eat beans all the time, I love beans, chips and beans, or rice and beans, or stuff like this. I used to eat it all the time, like chickpeas and that, and I was absolutely fine. I was absolutely fine. I didn't like meat being cooked in my house. I didn't like the way it smelled. It scared me. Scared me. And it kind of reminds me if you want to get into deeper cults, like Kabbalic streams and stuff like this, it's a form of spirit cooking. And it is. Okay? And you have to understand this, is that it's a form of spirit cooking. Alright? And I'm not going to go too far into that because people get really scared about that, but you have to understand that when you kill an animal, it had a soul, because the plants, they don't have a soul. And you have to understand this. When I was a kid, I felt into this blade of grass, for example. Okay, this, right? This is almost like a reflection of out there in the sky, and all that stuff. This is a reflection of that. Okay, because this is what it generates nutrients from. That's fair enough. But there isn't a soul in this. It's a feeling. Okay, so I don't know how to explain it apart from to go to a chakra point, but it's more of a feeling. Okay, so usually when you go outside, I feel this grass, it feels amazing. This is why, because it's a feeling. Okay, so it's a lower base energy, right? So I am energy is obviously, it's almost like this is a feel. I know, I love, or I feel I do grow in love, because it's green. So I feel, because that's how we see it, we feel this. We know it is what it is, but it's not what I am, but I know what this is. So I am a plant. We did that for it, okay? It didn't do it for itself, okay? Because that plant just feels, and it just does, and it just loves, okay? So usually, okay, this is almost like the Freemason concept of a plant, okay? So I can know that feels, I know I do, and I know I love and grow, okay? But it needs all the nutrients, which is the moon concept, which is I need the nutrients. Okay, so this is the simplest way to understand a basic principle, okay? So this plant doesn't know it's a plant, it just is, okay? So it's not I am, it just is, okay? And it just feels, and it just does, and it just grows, okay? With love, because you have to nurture it, okay? So I think really the reason why we think we have control over these cows, sheep, stuff like this is because we have to understand that we must have created them somewhere down the line to think that we owned them. Like we must have like done some stem cell research, mixed it up a little bit, turned it into a cattle, and then treated it like one. So they're like our sort of creations, if you like, as a human species. So then let's get into this. If they are our creations as a human species and we treat them like that, you got to really think what is going on here in the midst of it all, okay? In the midst of it all. And it's almost like, okay, so if they could treat that like that, what are they going to do to us? We're just financial bits of paper and, you know, a little straw man. They've set fire to every year in November. Do you get it? So it's kind of like we're being ritualized through these processes as well, through our own celebrations. That's why people might disagree with it. As an atheist, you might not celebrate Bonfire Night, right? Then let's get into understanding back to the animals. Is that if we created them, we created that species to be that for that purpose. Then you got to think, well, this is where we really hit down on the truth. So let's go back to being like a little kid. I know I love my art, and it hurts my heart to sit there and think I'm eating this thing, right? Why? Because they taught us that was normal. They conditioned us, which might be a Satanist perspective, but they conditioned us to thinking this was right. So we have to understand that when in this depiction, how can I understand the analogies, is that we have to go back to our roots. And it's so simple. Then when we do that, we have to go into our feels, and it hurts because we sort of start feeling into like a worldview in a different way because we have a different conceptualization to what this has. Right? Because that needs love, nurture, and that's it grows. Right? So this is reality. Okay? But we are different because we are a different species. And, you know, this is also the same connotation to an animal. We have the same sort of intellectual understanding to them. So, you know, they are aware, right? So when you do stuff like that, you do mass slaughters on cattle, it's death ritual. And this can be a depiction of understanding death ritual as well. And it's almost like we need to sort of branch away from that, okay? We need to branch away from that, okay? If the meat's all gone, the meat's all gone. It doesn't stay, and then, you know, you have out-of-date products. Why? Okay? I'm not going to go into the deep, sordid roots. I might do a Patreon one day, and I might go into it there. But, that's for another time. But this, to understand this concept here, is so simple. It's plant life. Right? That's the easy way to explain it. And then obviously you have to protect your own self, how you feel, okay, because this can help you rise in your Kundalini. You might rise in your Kundalini, okay, because you're starting to, break out of that meat eat fest that you've been going on for a while that you didn't realise that you were doing, and you're just like, I don't want to eat anymore. I don't like it. I don't really want to eat meat anymore. You might have that, and there's a reason. Okay, there's a reason, and it's good. And it's because sometimes what it does is, what I noticed is that when I stopped eating meat, it cleared me out. And I was able to rise. Okay, but there were many other things going on at the time. There was many things going on at the time. But it was almost like I was doing that first. So it was like I was doing it again. I was doing it in 2017, 18, 19, 20. I was doing it. I wasn't eating meat, right? So I didn't eat meat a lot. And maybe it's my body rejected it as well, because it was I'm sick when I eat meat. Like, seriously, I'm sick. I can't eat anything like that. I'm sick. My body can't digest that. I get poorly, right? And I think that's why I stopped eating meat, preferably beef, lamb, heavy meats. I can't eat it. And it's because, maybe I was forced to eat when I was a kid, but I didn't even eat it then. Got in trouble for it as well, not eating it, right? But, there was pressure from other places as well to do that to us, okay? So just really round this all off is that if you want to rise in your Kundalini, to finish us off, for people who are into that, is that we rise to Kundalini, because this is how we can open up, okay? And we might remember things, okay? So it might be a little bit hard for you because you're opening up, but it's almost like what's been gone through your body as well. So if you stop eating meat, you might have like you might really be going into those feels. Why don't I eat meat? Why? And you might rise on that. Baby, right? So we really have to understand that we are humans, and if you don't want to eat meat, you don't have to. And if you're forced, well, it's a form of abuse, isn't it? Okay? There was a really massive war back in the day, could be 1800s, 1500s, 1800s, I'm not sure. There was a really big war. Like, there were people who didn't eat meat and there were people that did eat meat, and they started fighting each other. A civil war broke out. I think it was in like Italy or something. There was a civil war that broke out, and there were people who did eat meat and the two people who didn't eat meat, and they were against it. So there was people who were really against eating meat, and they didn't like eating the meat, and they fought the people who did eat meat. And what they found was the people who were vegetarian were more peaceful, and people who ate meat were more barbarian. And it kind of went there. People who ate meat didn't really care so much. That was kind of the conclusion that in history it was coming across to me. That because they were trying to fight the vegetarians to make them eat it, and it's just like, this is kind of like how they've enforced it now into this era. Well, how I experienced it when I was a kid, because they were trying to get my mum to make me, social services, trying to get my mum to make me eat meat, right? So it's kind of like, this is kind of like how, there was a trouble. I became troubled, okay? As simple as that. But this is kind of, it kind of stems from these ideas. And, you can't, if your kid don't want to eat meat, don't want to eat meat. You enforce it, and that's not nice, is it? It's a form of bullying. You're a tyrant. So, teacher, leave those kids alone. But not the teacher, obviously, but, certain people who do that, the teachers out there who are good, who just go on, rock on, right? All those teachers out there who are good, like, keep going, right? Because I know some good ones out there, and then I know that, You know, some people just follow suit, but you know, it's emotional. That's what they need. They need to understand that they're allowed to be who they are, okay? Especially children, right? Because this is how we build an evolution of a state, not a confusion, to keep us fighting in our own fields, to break our tree, okay? So if a child don't want to eat meat, don't want to eat meat, don't force it. Right? That's how it is. And if he does, then he does. Or she, right? And this is how it works. And this is how it should be. Because this is an evolution of a state. Okay? Because you're trying to make them fight something inside them they don't agree with for all that time. And then you have to realise that what you're just creating chaos. You're not letting these children be who they are. They're waiting until they're 30 years old to be who they are. And then you're trying to smash them back down again, whatever else you've got going on. Whatever else you've got in your ideas for these people. And it's just, it's pointless. Right? It's pointless. Because ultimately, you just got to let people be who they want to be. They're not breaking the law, are they? They're actually being complete opposite. They're teaching you, right? They're your teacher. I'm out. Peace.